Hey everybody, this is Rory. I don't know what part this is, so I will put the part on it after we're done. But here's a continuation of my story time about who I am. I am Isis. Okay, so now you know I'm Isis. And what the heck does that mean? Isis actually became immortal after doing a little trickery with her grandfather. So, and I won't get into, well, actually, okay, just to make the, no, I'm not going to get into the story. You could hear about the story a little later about what she did to become immortal, but she did become immortal, and she has incarnated. She has been in a human form 3 times. And one of my past lifetimes was one of the times that she was in human form. And this lifetime, she is in human form within me. So I am Isis. And I have fully embodied Isis. And I don't know if I should say fully, but because I'm still developing and I'm still learning. I'm still in my growth process, but I am the incarnation of Goddess Isis. And I know that's kind of, it might sound hokey, but it is true. And if you look at some of the previous little clips, I give you a little indication as to how I came into this knowledge and, you know, figured all this out and everything. So who is Isis? You know, I'm like, who the heck is Isis? Isis is the mother goddess of Egypt. She is a patron goddess of medicine and fertility. She is the queen of heaven. She's the source of life and divine motherhood. Isis is the mistress of magic and healing. She is the daughter of Geb and Nut. Isis raised Anubis, who is the son of Nephthys, which was Isis' sister in her first lifetime. Nephthys was unable to raise Anubis. And it sounds very similar to the story, I believe, of Moses. But anyway, so Isis ended up raising Anubis. Isis is the feminine aspect of divinity. She governed the skies and the human world, or governed, whatever. And she helped the dead enter the afterlife. She is the protector of kings, or was in that time the protector of kings. I believe that she was responsible for the creation of the atom, okay, which is the first human of the kind that we are now. Because there were many experiments with developing the perfect human. And Genesis is what I believe about Isis, the generation of Isis. Okay, Gen-Isis. And what else? I've also learned that the cult of Isis, which is what it was called back then. Isis was a teacher, and she taught, she healed. She was a great magician. She was also very compassionate. So she did weep. You know, they say that she and Nephthys wept so much one of the times that Osiris was killed that their tears filled up the Nile River. That's what they say. And that the agriculture around there was very good, and people would have prosperity through the agriculture and different things of that nature near the Nile River. What was I going to say? I was going to tell you guys something. Something about, okay, wait a minute. I can't remember. But anyway, so I know what I was going to say now. Okay, so in her time, she was a teacher, and she had a great following. Many followed her and worshiped her, so to speak. And Isis taught Yeshua and Magdalene magic. And I know as you read your spiritual books, there are many examples of magical things that happen. You know, I remember Elijah. There was a woman and her child fell dead. And then she was told that you should go get Elijah, the prophet Elijah. Elijah could help heal him. So she went and got Elijah. And Elijah told her, whatever you do this, that, and the other. Whatever you do, don't tell anybody or whatever. I think someone stopped her. I think she may have told somebody what she was doing. Anyway, long story short, Elijah came. He had a cloak over him. He fell over the child, and then the child was revived. Okay, so Isis, she revived Osiris twice, you know, after Seth had killed him twice. And so she taught these gifts and abilities, and the cult of Isis was surrounding everlasting life and immortality and how to have everlasting life. Now, I'm not sure that everlasting life meant that you would live forever, but I know at some point there was a cap placed on the amount of time that we could live. So people were living like over 1,000 years, you know, and then there was a cap placed, and it's in the Bible, and I'm sure it's in some of the other spiritual books. There was a cap placed that said that you could no longer live more than 120. All right, so then people didn't live to thousands of years anymore. They only could live to 120, because I mean, people were having babies. I mean, how old was Sarah? I think she was like 90 something or 80 something when she had a baby. So, you know, their lifespan was a lot longer, and I'm going to share more about that information and our lifespan and what's going to happen. I'm going to share a lot more about that in future parts, because we're going to talk about the ascension that's going to take place with the solar flash and everything. All right. But anyway, so the teachings of Isis really flourished, and they were everywhere. And then the Romans decided to create Christianity, and, you know, and they created the Bible, and Christianity replaced the teachings of the cult of Isis. How about that? So I'm going to end right there, and I'll see y'all in the next part.